Greeting, tea lovers. This is the Ateaeist, and I'm here today with Genuine Tea's Imperial Golden Monkey, which I picked up at the Toronto Tea Festival. It is a black tea out of China and has beautiful golden color to it with really, really long leaves. And what makes this tea special is that when they pick the tea, they only pick the whole leaves, and they don't pick the little tiny crappy leaves. The leaf has to be perfectly intact, the bud has to be perfectly intact, and then, you get your beautiful tea. So let's try to focus a little more. There we go. That is a really nice shade of a really nice shot of the tea. Have the beautiful golden color in it, which is, I guess, hence the name. And I read somewhere that the name, the Golden Monkey name, is because the tea leaves look like the claws of a monkey. But who knows if that's true? It could be true, it could be bullshit, whichever. But I have the water running, or boiling, and we will give it a taste in just a minute. So that's a teaspoon in there, and I plan on having it in my nice clear cup so that all of you can see the beautiful, rich color of the tea. It is just below boiling. It's at 95 Celsius. And the reason why you don't do it completely boiling is because you don't really want it to shock the tea leaves. So when you pour it in, you get a nice little swirl of them. Some of them float, most of them sink. And already you can see the color forming in there. One of the nice things about this tea is that it is a fairly caffeinated tea. As you can see here, we have 3 tea leaves worth of caffeine. Focus. Focus, you fuck. There you go. And not so much with the antioxidant, but that's okay because I'm actually looking for a nice tea in the morning to give me a little bit of a boost. And that's actually what this tea has done. I've actually had it a couple times already. It's just I've been too lazy, or the kitchen's been too dirty, or I've been too busy to actually do the review of it. But here we go. It's steeping for about 2.5 minutes. It's supposed to steep for 2 to 3 minutes. And as you can see here, a little bit of floaty still. They seem to be rising to the top, but you can see those tea leaves expanding. And when you use a large infuser, doesn't necessarily have to be this one. It can be any kind of spacious infuser. It could be one that the one that fits in this teacup, which I'm not using because you can't really watch it. But you really want to let the tea leaves expand. You can use another infuser, like a small one. Like, for example, I have this little guy here, which is my octopus. But the problem with the octopus, as adorable as it is, the tea leaves don't really get to expand in it. So I generally use the octopus for fruit teas and other teas that you don't need to let bloom. So we're just going to put them on the cup there. And this is just about ready. You can see the steam coming off of it. It's going to be really hot to drink, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're counting down the last 15 seconds of that. 10 seconds. And I don't need to wait for the beeper. I'm not that crazy. And here we go. There's that beautiful color. Gorgeous amber. And a couple little tea leaves made it out there. You can see the little flutter in the bottom. But that's to be expected once in a blue moon. Just means that I need to do a better job of giving that a good rinse. But there we go. We're going to give it a taste after it cools down a little bit. And I will give a little bit of a description without using the description on the bag so much, because obviously you want to get a first-person account of what it tastes like. Okay, it's time to give this tea a little sip. Very carefully. We're not going to sit in the living room because the living room is a disaster. But here's the cup. A little bit of a roasty flavor at first. And you get a smooth sweetness. So let's keep going. One of the nice things about it is you don't get that black tea flavor, which is overwhelming. Like some black teas is they they have that earthy grass mud flavor, but this doesn't have that. It's a really smooth black tea, which you can drink straight up without any milk and sugar. Whereas there are some black teas where I find that I have to have milk and or sugar in it to tone it down a bit. And that's even with steeping it for just a couple of minutes. But this had a 2.5 minute steep. It has a beautiful color, and the flavor is very mellow, very nice. And that sweet little aftertone and the way it lingers on the back of your tongue is a tea that you can enjoy for quite a long time, at least until it gets cold. So, what I mean by that is the flavor lingers on your tongue and you don't have to sip as often to rejuvenate that flavor. So, it stays with you until I guess you're done. It's still a little too hot to drink really, really quickly, but it is a tea that I would recommend buying and that I would definitely buy again. It wasn't one of their award-winning teas. I'm pretty sure it was one of the award-winning teas, but it is definitely a tea that you should try if you live in the Toronto area and you want to get a cup of Imperial Golden Monkey. You go to the Genuine Tea website, which I will put in the comments, and give it a go. All their teas that I tried were fabulous, but this is the one that I decided on just for something a little different. And it's something that I think might have a um, permanent home in my stash, my tea stash. So this is the Ateaeist saying, have a wonderful day and keep steeping.